Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. There are few names in Hollywood more universally admired than Sandra Bullock. For decades, she's graced the silver screen with warmth, intelligence, charm, and the kind of radiant energy that captivates audiences across generations. From her unforgettable performances in The Blind Side, Speed, and Miss Congeniality to her Oscar-winning role and beyond, Sandra Bullock has always seemed like the kind of star who can do it all. But behind that dazzling smile and the flashing cameras, there is another side to Sandra, one fiercely guarded, deeply personal, and profoundly human. That side is her life as a mother. For many fans, the journey of Sandra Bullock's motherhood began in 2010 when she adopted her son, Louis. The world was first introduced to the little boy who stole Sandra's heart. Shortly after she won her Academy Award, Louis Bardo Bullock became the quiet, steady presence in Sandra's life during a time of incredible transition as she faced public heartbreak and stepped back from her high-profile marriage with Jesse James. Sandra leaned into her role as a mother with grace and quiet strength. And through it all, she made one thing abundantly clear. Her children would come first, above all else. Louis, with his wide eyes, sweet expression, and undeniable charisma, captured the hearts of fans the few times he was seen. Whether it was a rare photo on a magazine cover or Sandra's tender words in interviews, the image of her adorable little boy lived in the minds of fans as a symbol of new beginnings. But as the years passed, Sandra became more and more private. She shielded Louis from the spotlight in a way few celebrities are able to do. Paparazzi rarely caught a glimpse of him. Red carpet appearances were non-existent. No social media, no viral clips, just silence. And now in 2025, the world has been shaken by the quiet, surreal realization that Sandra Bullock's son, once the adorable baby the world wanted to protect, is now 15 years old. 15, a teenager, a young man, and for many fans, this realization feels like waking up from a dream. What happened to the little boy Sandra used to cradle in her arms at airports or shield behind her on walks? What does Louis look like now? What is he like? And how has Sandra navigated raising a young black boy in Hollywood as a single white mother? This story is not just about a physical transformation. This is a story about growth, protection, evolution, and love. Because what Sandra Bullock did was more than adopt a child. She built a life around him. She turned down roles, paused her career, stepped away from premieres, all to be there. Sandra once described Louis as the right child, who came into her life at the right time. She often said he had a wise soul, like an old man in a tiny body. Friends described him as calm, observant, and deeply intuitive, even as a toddler. Now that he's 15, sources close to the family say those traits have only deepened. Louis is said to be thoughtful, creative, and intelligent, interested in music, film, and possibly even activism. Sandra has spoken about the importance of raising her children with an understanding of their identity. She's been honest about her struggles with motherhood, especially as a white mother raising black children in America. She's talked about having difficult conversations, confronting her own biases, and ensuring Louis knows he is seen, heard, and loved in a world that isn't always kind. The few recent glimpses of Louis show a teenager who's grown tall, with quiet confidence and a sense of maturity far beyond his years. Gone is the round-cheeked toddler with the bright smile. In his place stands a young man whose posture says everything. Calm, composed, private. He's not a celebrity child chasing clout. There are no TikTok videos, no red carpet cameos, no influencer branding. Sandra has ensured that Louis's upbringing is about values, not vanity. In a rare interview, a friend of Sandra's revealed that Louis is incredibly smart and sees through the nonsense of Hollywood. He reportedly loves storytelling, both in film and literature, and is fascinated by how narratives shape identity. It's no wonder, given who his mother is. Sandra Bullock didn't just raise a son, she raised a thinker, someone who questions, who observes, who dreams, and perhaps most importantly, someone who knows he's unconditionally loved. And this love extends beyond Louis. In 2015, Sandra adopted a second child, her daughter Layla. At the time, Sandra spoke openly about the importance of creating a safe, stable, loving home. She's referred to her children as her everything, and often says she's learned more from them than they've learned from her. Raising two children as a single mother, especially in the unforgiving glare of Hollywood, is no small task. But Sandra did it with grace, determination, and a fierce protectiveness that's rare in celebrity culture. Even in 2022, when Sandra Bullock took an extended break from acting, she cited motherhood as her reason. "I take my job very seriously," she said, "but right now, my job is to be with my kids." In an industry where fame is fleeting and attention is currency, Sandra's choice to retreat, to pour herself into her children's lives without fanfare, speaks volumes. It's not about the spotlight for her. It's about legacy, about love, about giving her children the kind of upbringing they deserve. And now, as Louis turns 15, fans can't help but feel a mix of emotions: pride, nostalgia, surprise, even disbelief. It feels like just yesterday, we were watching Sandra cradle him in her arms on the cover of People magazine. Now he's taller than her, preparing for his own journey into adulthood. What lies ahead for Louis? Will he follow in his mother's footsteps and pursue acting, or will he carve out his own path, away from the camera's gaze? Those questions remain unanswered for now. But what we do know is this: Louis Bullock is a reflection of his mother's deepest values. He's the quiet proof that fame doesn't have to destroy childhood, that it's possible to grow up grounded, even when your mother is one of the most famous women in the world. And he's the reminder that behind every red carpet, every award, every glamorous photo shoot, there's a life, real, raw, and filled with the kind of love that can't be staged. Sandra Bullock's journey as a mother is not just touching, it's inspiring. She has shown that you can be a global star and still choose to protect what matters most, that you can walk away from the noise to find peace in bedtime stories, school runs, and quiet dinners at home. Her story with Louis is one of devotion, resilience, and the kind of unconditional love that never needs a spotlight. So yes, Sandra Bullock's son used to be adorable, and in many ways, he still is. But now, he's also remarkable, reflective, and growing into a young man the world may never fully know, but will always be curious about. And maybe that's the way Sandra intended it. Maybe some stories aren't meant to be told in full, only glimpsed, felt, and respected from afar. As fans, we'll continue to celebrate Sandra's films, her legacy, and her fearless honesty. But today, we pause to acknowledge something even more powerful than fame: the quiet, unwavering strength of a mother's love and the incredible young man it helped shape. Thank you for watching Daily Gossip. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional updates on your favorite stars and their real lives behind the fame.